Looking forward to this one. It's a new start for Malik Zinad. Now teaming up with Shea McGuigan and his excellent gym buzzing with lots of talent and ability. Champions and would-be champions, and moving down from light heavy, Andy as well, just a couple of pounds above super middle. It's an interesting start for him.
He looks nice and lean, doesn't he? Physically, you look at the pair of them, and Bilich is like a kind of rhino compared to the sort of whippet of Zinad, isn't he? I don't know how he squeezed into 171 pounds there, Bilich, when you look at the size of his shoulders and his lats, and as you described, he had an enforced absence due to a lengthy prison sentence, but he's back in action now, and this is quite a bold fight to take if you're him, to be honest. You want to give a good account of yourself, show people what you can do, win, lose or draw. For Zinad, this is obviously a must win. What everybody says about him is that he's got some real ability. Circumstances have meant that finding a settled training base has not been the easiest thing, but he's now in that McGuigan's gym in Leighton, and I know that they're impressed with him, and I know that they feel he's a good guy to have around, and that's key there, because if you're not one, you won't last.
Indeed, and he's shipped a couple of right hands there early doors. He does have a style as well, Zinad, that, you know, he wants to get on the front foot. He likes to throw punches, so he does put himself in harm's way, and he's happy to do that. In other words, he might just create little avenues of opportunity for Bilic, even although it's Zinad who's operated so far at the higher level. But Bilic has got a lot of experience to call on from a few years back. He is 42 now, spent a dozen years away from the game when he actually was inside under a serious charge, so he won't be moved at all by what's in front of him tonight, but what is in front of him is a talented operator.
Bilic has got to get close, hasn't he? That's the key for him, and Zinad can just refuse to allow that, because if he keeps pumping out that jab, and he's done it effectively so far, then it's going to be very, very hard for Bilic to get close enough to him, tight enough to him, to do some real damage. So he's got to make sure he keeps his discipline here, Zinad. I thought he did pretty well against Bivol, actually. I was at that fight, and he took it at about 3 weeks' notice. Bivol was expecting to fight better Biev that night. That didn't happen. He got kicked back to later in the year, and at that point, because it was prior to the two better Biev fights, I'm not sure we really understood just how good Bivol is, because he is incredibly good.
He's outstanding, outstanding. Some of the best feet and jab and movement in the game, that is for sure. Difficult quite to see on what we've seen so far, Andy. When you look at the footage of Zinad up at light heavy, he sort of looked like he probably hits heavy-handed enough without necessarily being a sort of one-punch finisher.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. I'd say that's fair. He's controlled that opening round nicely.
And although he shipped a couple of right hands early doors, actually his foot movement defensively was quite switched on as that round progressed. So first opportunity really in between rounds for that trainer-boxer relationship to blossom.
Some gym mates down here supporting Zinad as well. Ellie Scott, Chris Smith over to our right-hand side. That's a thing there, isn't it?
It is a thing. I like it. I like it. I like that sort of, you know, developing atmosphere and culture. Joe Gallagher, whether that by design or default, was kind of big on that as well. And when you get that mentality, you create a culture.
Bonus 10 seconds.
I'm into that. I like it.
Adam Azim, the rumour is that fight at the end of January.
Seconds out, round 2.
Zach Fee's down there as well, of course, somebody we've seen a lot. Alex McMillan, another young fighter who started there not that long ago.
Well, I'm told this opportunity arose because when Thiago Muxamba was sparring Adam Azim, Johnny Clark was down there to watch the spar, bumped into Malik Zinad, who asked him about the top-tier shows on DAZN, and managed to negotiate his way on it. Letting his hands go. He's got a good vocal crowd here, Zinad as well, who are getting into this, and Zinad is getting into the fight.
And he's just looking to tee Bilic up, isn't he? Again, there, just sticking out that lead left hand, and using it as a measuring stick really for that right. That was a concerted attack from Zinad, and Bilic, giving credit, stood up to it pretty well.
He has got that kind of fighter's mentality about him as well, Zinad. I think he does like to fight. I think he enjoys the business, enjoys the game. Nice little step back and then check right hand, left hook to the body as well. He's starting to let his hands go, Zinad. He's starting to find his rhythm. You can see how reddened and puffy the face of his opponent is. Bilic just starting to mark up a little bit.
I think that stab to the body that we just saw there could be profitable for Zinad. He's lining up that right hand and he's getting through with it fairly regularly. He's neglecting the jab a little bit because he's looking for that long raking right that he threw there and missed with. But I think just jab, right hand, left hand to the body, just rinse and repeat.
And he's got his mojo regarding the distance, hasn't he? As well as his rhythm starting just to click into gear. And Zinad starting to see the quality come through.
But this just can't really get near him, can he, at the minute? That's the problem he's got. He's tucking up, he's trying to inch in closer, but as soon as he does that, Zinad just lets his hands go, and he needs that to basically stop happening because he's not really moving his head. He's got to try and slip and roll and get inside those long, rangy levers of Malik Zinad, but it's proven to be a very difficult thing to do so far.
And as well as being in that gym just for the culture and buzzing off loads of talented fighters, you'd imagine you have some really good different types of sparring as well. The size and strength of Bill Smith and speed and accuracy of Azim sort of up and down the ways. Good round. A lot of menace there from Zinad. Really good round from him.
It's difficult to see really what Bilic could do about this, given what we've seen of him in the first two rounds. It's easy to watch it like I just did and tell him what he should be doing, which is move his head, drop his height, slip roll, get off the line and try and get inside that long reach. I don't think he's really got the tools to be able to do it, so what he's really relying on here is Zinad just switching off a bit, maybe starting to find the wrong sort of fight and having it mid-range or slightly close range, because if he can't...
Corners, 10 seconds!
You might feel like he doesn't really respect his skill set, then he could do it any which way, but other than that happening...
Seconds out,
really
round 3!
What a man there in the blue corner can do.
Well, Zinad can make this as easy or difficult as he pleases, really, with his range. And his footwork in particular, working well for him so far. And he could, a bit like we saw with Muxanga in an earlier fight, he could chip away and beat up and break down Bilic, I think it's fair to say, round by round. Chops down with the right hand. Oh, huge shot.
1,
huge right
2,
hand. And
3,
came from the
4,
counter.
5,
It came from
6,
the feint and it came
7,
from the step back. The feet
8.
were absolutely perfect to get him into position. Big breakthrough. He might not need to break him up and break him down. He might just take him out.
He went down pretty hard there as well. He was rocked back onto his heels and his legs aren't steady here at all. He's in trouble. There's 2 minutes to go in the round. It could well be too long.
Yeah, he's in a lot of bother here. And there's intensity and pace. He's trying to cover up, but he's getting hurt here, Bilic. There's a big welt on his left eye as well, a swelling. And there's a panic in the creation now. Left hook to the body. The referee's surely going to have a good look here because he is getting beat up. And Zinad can do just about what he wants.
And he got up too quick as well, didn't he? He bounced back to his feet, got his gloves up to tell the referee he was fine. He should have just stayed on that knee, taken the 8 on the knee, then got back up.
And fair play to Zinad with just over a minute to go. In just under a minute and a half. He is taking his time, regrouping, and he is changing the angle of his upper body to try and create openings for himself.
And Bilic is in pure survival mode here, which is all he can do at the minute, and I think his legs have strengthened a little bit underneath him. I think he looks slightly more clear-eyed because he was really on the run there.
Another big right hand getting through. He's more heavily marked up, and I think now bleeding. That big welt on the left-hand side of his face is getting pretty ugly now. And there's intensity and menace about this attack throughout this round, this big third round for Malik.
Just over 30 seconds remaining in a round. If he gets through this, Bilic should have done well, and then in the corner they need to try and revive him. They need to try and inject some optimism back into him, but they also need to be mindful of the fact that if this is the way it keeps going, then what you don't want to see is your man just stretched out on his back.
Fair play though. He's come back, he's trying to get on the front foot here, Bilic. He cops another right hand. Wasn't quite the purchase or the timing on it from Zinad. And it's Bilic on the front foot. Remarkable turnaround here, because it was a minute and a half of intense pressure and heavy shots, and he looked in a lot of bother.
I think that's some good experience there from Zinad as well, though, because I think he went after him, and then I think he's had a look at him and thought, okay, might not quite be ready to go. I don't need to blow a gasket now. We're in the third round. I've made a serious dent here. I'll pick up where I left off. Keep doing this. Keep the tempo high. And this guy's going to break. That's what he'll be thinking.
And that's one, this knockdown is one that the coaches will love. It was he landed the right hand. There you can see, just stepped back, gave himself a bit of room, and suddenly it opened up.
Corners 10 seconds.
Not quite.
Seconds out, round 4.
Shades of it.
It was well timed, wasn't it? Really well timed, and he went down hard.
A little touch of gloves as they move out for the fourth round of a scheduled 8. And great credit to Bilic that he was able to ride that storm. And already through the first minute of this fourth round, Bilic on the back foot again. And there's that quick 1-2, lands the right hand again, Zinad.
He's got that guard up, and he's showing a lot of body there, Bilic. I think Zinad could go down there a bit more, maybe. We said it previously, and I still think it.
He does line up quite square, though, doesn't he, Zinad? So he actually doesn't have as much opportunity to really turn the hips into the right hand as he's landing it regularly. There he goes again. Either way, he's certainly putting Bilic back in his pocket. Yeah, good accurate jab there from Zinad.
And he's completely controlled the distance, hasn't he? Right from the very beginning. And Bilic has barely laid a glove on him, to be honest. not through lack of trying, but he just hasn't been able to get close enough to him to hit him. Sounds like quite a basic thing to say, but that's, if you control the distance, you control the fight, don't you? That's how it goes.
Oh, lovely three-punch combination, and twice in succession he thumps him with a left hook to the body, just softening up Bilic bit by bit. Yeah, a controlled round, dominant round that from Zinad.
And I think at the end there, you could tell again that those are nice sharp punches, and that's what I was kind of asking for in the previous rounds. Jab, right hand, left to the body. It's just a natural combination that flows. Each punch leaves you in the right position to throw the next one, and those stabs, I think they do have an effect. He's biting down here, isn't he, Bilic? Credit to him, because this is tough.
Yeah, that third round sort of maybe lulled us into thinking we might get a slightly different version of the fight. That round is kind of more what I was expecting, that maybe bit by bit Zinad would just break him down and maybe force the referee to
bonus
step in a bit later on in the fight.
Seconds. Seconds out, round 5.
Fair play to Bilic. What a way to earn a few quid. This game, what a way. Into round 5. And you can see the face of Bilic marked up and puffed and bloody and swollen. And again, pretty sharp and consistent with the jab, Zinad. And he caught Bilic on the turn after he tried to get his own shot off. And a little spat of defiance from Bilic.
He's just staying on him here, Zinad. He's trying to work him over. Because for this to be a really good performance, I think for him to be happy with this, I think he'll feel like he has to get the stoppage here. He's having to work for it. But he thinks that's what he's going to want here. If he goes through another 3 rounds of this after this one, where he's well on top and to an extent doing what he pleases, I don't think he'll be happy. I think he'll want the finish.
Pretty consistent with that left hook to the body as well. The 1-2 jab right hand is working for him. And great credit to Bilic's toughness and his guards, because those forearms are fairly protective, because the jab 1-2 is trying to pierce those consistently from Zinad. There's a thudding right hand that got right through the guard, and blood from the nose now for Bilic on top of his troubles. There's another right hand goes through. Anything else you can see, Andy, that Zinad could put into play?
Not particularly. What he's doing is working. I think he's just going to have to try and look to up the tempo, because we had one earlier in the night, didn't we, where we had a fighter who we didn't feel was going to necessarily fold, although he has been down once, Bilic, and he was badly hurt. But if you could just throw a succession of punches when nothing's coming back, unanswered punches, the referee will step in and stop it. Or the referee at least can step in and stop it. You can give them a decision to make. And if he ups the tempo, he could achieve that, I think. It may be that Bilic has got slightly kind of used to the power now, and you're not going to get him out of there by really hurting him. But if it's too much one-way traffic, the referee may decide that he's seen enough. And I think that's what he's going to need to try and do here.
Well on top, Malik Zinad, well on top here. Let's not forget, Bilic's never been stopped. And even up against the 17-0 fighter back in October, he went the distance. 10 rounds indeed on that occasion as well. So he's been rounds, he's very tough and durable. Malik Zinad's going to have to
Bonus 10
him out of
seconds.
This.
Seconds out, round 6.
Still a way to go though.
There is, and that's key, isn't it? Because he's experiencing that. He's not going to panic here. He's not going to be all that bothered if he doesn't get the stoppage, as in it's not really important, but I do really think that he will want it. But he'll know that 9 minutes is a very, very long time, and he's done plenty of valuable work in the first 15.
Oh, he's clubbed him with a couple of right hands. He's hurt him. Looked like that was a bit of a sickener. Looked like he might have gone to the floor, and this might be the opportunity to force the referee's hand. Under a lot of pressure, he's motioning to the referee as he clubs another right hand. That was a wicked shot, and that's one right hand too many. And finally, maybe a little belatedly, the referee does step in.
And it was what we were talking about, wasn't it? He did hurt him there, though. It wasn't just a pure volume stoppage that. He got him going, he buzzed him a little bit, and that left him, in many ways, fairly defenceless there, really, Bilic. He was doing exactly what you're supposed to do, all he could do, which was cover up and just try and ride it out. But there was too much coming there. He wasn't able to throw anything back. He did kind of gesture to referee Sean McAvoy just before that, asking the question almost of, are you sure you want to just let this keep going? And then one more kind of crunching right to the jaw, and that was it. But it was that right hand to the side of the head, that stung him, that got him going, and he hit him with the same punch 3-4 times. And once he's back in the corner here, now really, there's no way out, is there?
And I know all across the world, they love British sports fans, they love British fight fans. I'll tell you what, the Libyan-connected contingent are in here to support Malik Zinad tonight. Loads of noise, colour, boisterous, really fun. Fantastic. They'll follow him. They'll follow him. And by the way, they're going to be following him upwards, that's for sure.
Oh, they will be, absolutely. And this is one of just the best things about the sport. I mean, you know, we had a lot of fighters here from Muzanga, a lot of Mozambicans here from Muzanga, Germans, Russians here following Crotta, Libyan Syrians as well following a man here, Zinad, and that's, you love to see it. You know, we've seen Europe all banged out with Albanians and following Marco, pushing it's fantastic.
41 seconds of round number 6. Your winner by TKO, Malik Zinad.
Well done, Malik Zinad. It's a really good performance. That's I guess, what a would-be world-class operator does against someone who's aging, has fought at a good level a few years ago, but wasn't quite in his league. And he bit by bit just pieced him up and broke him down and took him out. And it was an emphatic finish. And Shane McGuigan deals in winners. That gym produces champions, and they'll have their eyes on something for sure, Andy.
They will, they absolutely will. He's got some ability, he's got something about him as well. He's got that kind of eye of the tiger, he's got that absolute desire about him.
And I mentioned that spar when he met Johnny Clark. He paid his own way onto the show tonight. So he effectively paid his opponent's wages just because he wanted to be part of it. Gives you an idea of where he's at, what he wants, and the hunger and the desire. The dream is very much alive, and we'll get a sense of what the future looks like now. Malik and Shane, they're talking to Ali.
Malik, you must be happy with that performance. 10 months out the ring and you get a 6th round stoppage.
I mean, thank you everybody for coming support here and stuff. I mean, next year is gonna be big here. I'm super middleweight. I'm coming for you all, super middleweight. Remember this, remember this. I'm now with Shane McGuigan, so I'm a world champion, super middleweight. That's it. Mark this, guys, yeah?
Well, yeah, let's bring in Shane McGuigan. Fantastic performance. You know, he's in the gym working with you now. He's looking to get back to those title contentions. And a performance like that, that's a great start.
Yeah, I think, you know, he got through in against Bivol at late notice. and not, you know, he was spent his whole career at light heavyweight, but he's a natural super middleweight. You know, he's putting himself at a massive disadvantage. He's done the weight there. He's had 3 fights with me. 2 of them have been down at super middleweight. So this is where I want him, and I think, you know, he's got heavy hands. He's got the range. You're going to see the best out of Malik when people come to him. You know, when he's got a guy and he's hurt him from the first minute, he goes into his shell. You know, it's hard to penetrate the guard with those sort of guys. But as soon as he started to come to him, he took him out, and I think it's a big, you know, it's a big statement. It's the first step for us. But, you know, he needs to get the names at super middleweight, because I believe he can beat most of them.
Yeah, because tonight he got the 6th round stoppage, but at some points it looked like maybe he was going to get him out of there even earlier. What were you telling him in the corner, just to sort of keep him calm and not sort of look for it too much?
Yeah, I said, look, you've got to try and draw this guy out. You know, you've got to tip him a little bit to try and draw the phase out of him, and then you're going to catch him, because he's a really solid guard. He was working the body well, hurt him a few times, but follow up the phases, and he got him out of there, and that's exactly what happened.
So going into the new year, you said you want those big names. Anyone in particular, any particular route you're looking for?
I mean, next year, guys. Next year, remember me, next year here. Top 10, super middleweight. I'm coming for you all. You know? So wait for me, wait for Max Zinad. What's going to do with Shane McGregor. I'm our next world champion. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Great to have you on the show.